China is moving fast to dominate the technologies of the future, producing 8 times as many STEM graduates as the US, according to the World Economic Forum. While in Ohio, 40% of our students are not proficient at state education standards, and those who meet state standards too often are not ready for the workforce. Meanwhile,
why does a school need to teach patriotism? Most of us aren't feeling very patriotic these days. Why does the school need to teach our students about marriage and abstaining from sex before doing so? This doesn't sound like representing all of your constituents. In fact, this all sounds like indoctrination to me.
Your conservative values are at the forefront of your decision-making process.
Everyone here is your constituent, and we demand that you do your job to represent all of us.
Even in conservative districts, a vocal minority often dominates local unions, pushing agendas that don't reflect the majority of dedicated teachers focused on student excellence. So, why is our education system falling behind? Let's take the Columbus City School District as an example. To join the local teachers' union, teachers are required to be members of the Ohio Education Association and the National Education Association. Collectively, over $4 million in dues are collected annually from teachers in this one school district. Board elections happen every 2 years, so that represents $8 million in dues to buy influence. After the Supreme Court decision in Citizens United, there is no limit on using union dues for independent political expenditures. Union funds and influence networks often effectively overwhelm school board races. A compliant board then gives them indirect control or outsized sway over administrators wary of career risks, which in turn allows them to dominate the district and get what they want in the collective bargaining agreement, including shifting many operational costs onto the taxpayer, like the use of school facilities and equipment, and paid time off to work on union business, and most importantly, padded raises that are not tied to performance shifts the cost of union dues onto the taxpayer. The total cost statewide for this system is in the range of $100 million of funding for networks that overwhelmingly support Democratic causes. The NEA and OEA donate millions every year, with 99% going to Democrats. The OEA is regularly a top donor for the Ohio Democratic Party and provides the financing for professional attack ads against Republicans running for school boards. Defending the system requires the systematic suppression of Republicans in public education. But they always say, it is all for the children. Let the history books reflect that this strike was about students who deserved a commitment to modern schools with heating and air conditioning. Yet what do students get for all of this expense? 65% of Columbus students score limited or basic on performance tests. How can these students possibly compete in the global economy when they cannot read or write? What do taxpayers get? Sky-high property taxes. So how do we fix the system? We need 5 key reforms. 1. Prohibit taxpayer subsidy for teachers' unions. Make their union dues cover their operating expenses, not the taxpayer. 2. Empower superintendents and principals. Untie their hands to lead and be held accountable for meeting goals and results. 3. Pay tied to evaluations. Tie a portion of bonuses and raises to performance reviews like the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System. 4. Empower the majority of educators. Require education and best practices for organizational governance to reform teacher unions to represent the values of the majority of educators instead of the vocal minority. 5. Prohibit local teacher unions from forcing membership in any state or national association as a condition of membership. Teachers must have the option to join their local union without being forced into other organizations that do not reflect their values. These reforms are critical to save our public education system, fix the internal dysfunction, cut costs, and return the focus to educating students. We cannot afford partisan politics to continue to suck resources out of our public education system. The state of Ohio must lead in reform. The future prosperity of our nation depends on it.